The last time we talked with you, the first time we talked with you, you said you were looking forward to spring workouts for the chance to kind of fine tune your role and pinpoint what exactly you bring to the team. Can you describe how that's going and what kind of clarity you've got now?
Yeah, it's been fun. Again, been moving around. Learning the offense. Learning the offense from many different spots on the field. Again, so that's always exciting. Again, and now it's just about building chemistry and learning more so of the nuances of things. Now that I've been about 4 to 5 weeks in, learning the different concepts, but also imagining certain looks and how I would run it and how things vary versus different defenses and things like that.
And what differences stand out to you between the Bears and the Rams? Just in experiencing it, and what differences in what you can do you think the different offense will give you?
Yeah, once you move in teams, obviously it's going to be a lot of difference. But for me, as a player, I think I'm able to bring a lot of versatility. So again, being able to run the entire route tree, being able to also blocking the run game, being able to do many different things. I'm across the board. That's play outside, play inside. Vertical cuts, intermediate cuts, short cuts. Being able to work the whole route tree, and again, being able to be involved in every single element of the offense.
And just to quickly follow up on that, does the Rams offense give you more of a chance to use all of the elements of your game?
Again, Coach McVay, and the offense that he's put together and the offense that these guys run, again, it's been a top offense in the league for a reason, so again, I truly believe that, by the end, that it'll bring the best out of me, and I'll be able to display all the elements of my game.
Thank you.
Claudia?
Hi, Alan. It's nice to meet you. This is Claudia Gestro with the DLT show KWH22. I don't think we met before. This is the first time I see you. So what do you like about this coaching staff, starting with Sean McVay?
I think the biggest thing is his coaching style and how detailed Coach McVay is. I think that not only is he detailed, but he allows players to play, and he corrects us and things like that. But I think it's his ability to allow players to play, and again, each and every day we go out there and as we're practicing and things like that, we're able to make corrections and make adjustments, based on things that guys are doing right or doing wrong, but it's his coaching style that truly allows players to play freely, and then we just correct off of that, so it's like whenever I step on the field, I'm able to be myself. And if I do mess up something or am wrong here, he'll correct me and we'll just keep it pushing, but again, every time I step on the field, I feel like I can be and play at my best self.
Now you were talking about, building the chemistry. Are you guys doing some fun stuff outside football to get to know each other, especially you to know your new teammates?
Again, with me getting here and getting adjusted and still, moving and stuff like that, I haven't been able to do a ton outside of football. But what I can say is, anytime we have meetings or things like that, you have guys, staying after, X amount of time, just going over different concepts, going over different leverages, talking football, being able to, really talk through many different things on the field, and I also think that a lot of chemistry is built that way as well.
Thank you so much.
Nick?
Hey, Alan, you spoke about just, chemistry, but having guys stay over. And one of those guys, obviously, is Cooper Kupp. Seems like he never leaves the building. But how much does that help you just, understanding this offense so you can play in your position the best way?
Whenever you're playing next to guys like that, man, it's a tremendous help. Again, like I said before, as we're kind of watching things and talking through route concepts and different leverages of the DBs and, how the routes are ran based on different leverages, and different angles and how to be successful and, how to create separation and do different things like that, So, even as we're watching routes on air or anything like that, we're always kind of talking through those different things, and really being very specific and very detailed in, our approach from a route running standpoint. And same thing in the run game, being able to talk through different aiming points on how to, help runs get started and things like that, So, I mean, it's been a tremendous help. Like I said before, man, whenever you're playing with guys like that, I mean, it just makes it easy on you. When I say easy on you is because you're learning and you're getting better, and the better you get, obviously, the easier the game is.
And also, too, talking with Jefferson yesterday, he was just talking about how excited he was to have you a part of the team. But what are some of the things you feel like he can learn from you, and what are some of the things you feel like you can learn from him as well? You guys can iron sharpen iron.
Yeah, I think I always take the iron sharpen iron approach. I think that this is going on my 9th year in the league. And for me, every single year, really, and I don't even want to say every day, but a lot of times you can take so much from different players. I think one of the biggest things that has always stuck with me as a player is, you learn so much more, from others as well. When you watch yourself, you do learn a lot, but you learn even more when you're watching others, from a route running concept, from a blocking technique, from different things like that. So for me, I'm always trying to watch, everybody to see, how I can get better, and again, we have a very humble room and a very humble group, so I feel like guys have that same exact approach, and like I said before, from talking to Tutu to Van, guys are constantly, in communication and figuring out how they can get better.
Thank you, Alan.
Jordan.
Hey, Alan, nice to talk to you today. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you, no problem.
When you first got here, we talked very briefly in your introductory press conference about some of the empowerment and like the creativity you can find within the passing concepts once you gain that, understanding and that fundamental feel for the offense itself. And Cooper's talked a lot about that as well, getting creative at times once you have a feel for the flow of things. And I'm kind of wondering, are you starting to see some of those spaces where that's possible? And are you starting to feel a little bit of that empowerment in pushing that forward?
Definitely. Once for me as a receiver, once you start to get into the detail and into the specifics of route running and things like that based on the concepts that we're learning, you never want to be a line runner as a receiver and just run the line on the paper. You want to figure out how can you make this route be the best route against this coverage. The nuances based on the release, the nuances, within a route, different angles, different aiming points, double ups, it's a lot of different things that you can, get creative with as a receiver. And at the same time, it's just making sure that you're staying on the same timing with the quarterback and that you're in rhythm with the progression and things like that, So again, for me, like I said before, now I'm about over a month in of learning the offense, so now every time I get on the grass, I'm thinking, okay, how can I better this route? How can I do this a little bit better? How can I, kind of add what I bring to the table as a receiver to be able to make this play, even better?
And we obviously didn't know you well before, but if you don't mind me saying, you seem really relaxed and you seem really, really happy. And I'm kind of wondering if this whole process, as much as it's been to take in and all of this change, I'm wondering if this has been also re-energizing for you in a way.
Definitely, it's been exciting. It's been exciting since day one. And I think the most exciting part about it is, again, when you're playing alongside guys like Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, when you have Coach McVay as your coach, Coach Yarbs as your receiver coach, and you have these people who have such a great experience, just in football in general. You can talk football, and it's a constant, it's a process driven group, meaning that, the process of getting better and working on things like that, every time you step out on the field, you feel like you can get better at things, even if you may fail at something one day, it's the process of getting better at it and making you a better player. And each and every day you can get out on the grass and you can truly, try to accomplish things and make some of your weaker points better. It's exciting as a player because you continue to see yourself getting better each and every day.
Thanks, Alan.
Stu.
Hey, Alan, thank you for making the time this afternoon. Really appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
So you touched a little bit on, your experience working with Cooper Kupp to this point. I'm wondering, what it's been like working with Matthew Stafford, just, in meetings and of course in the, capacity you've been able to in drills, and how does that compare to maybe the, what you knew of him or what you knew about him before coming here?
Yeah, I mean, I've known a pretty good about him, growing up in Detroit, and him being on the Lions, also one of his former offensive coordinators, his son went to my high school, so I knew a little bit about him, and knew the kind of player that he was, for a good amount of time now, so now being able to be on the same team with him, every time we get on the grass, just trying to over communicate to him, anything that he sees, to just be in communication with me to make sure that, if it's anything that I could do better, or if I'm on the, making sure I'm on the right time and making sure that everything is timing up with what he sees and things like that. And I think whenever you have that communication with the quarterback, it just makes things so much better, So again, for me, that's what it's about, just making sure that I'm on his time, and things that he's seeing, that I'm making sure that I'm in constant communication with him, each and every day, from drill to drill, route to route, making sure that we're seeing everything through the same set of eyes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dennis.
Hi, Alan. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Good. What does it mean to you to be part of a team that has a consistent winning culture?
It means a lot, again, it's something that you feel, it's something that you see, and it's something that's very exciting to be a part of, as a player, you wouldn't want anything less than being a part of, a winning culture, a winning group, guys who have proven winning habits, that's across the board, from coaching staff to strength staff to nutrition staff to, everybody, you can tell each and every day that, that it's the reason why they've been able to win a lot of games in this building, and to be a part of that, for me, I'm overjoyed to be a part of that, and I want to continue to, make myself better and I continue to add to that.
I know this is a new team for you. Would you describe yourself more of a vocal guy, vocal player, or someone who leads by example?
I'm definitely a lead by example kind of guy. That's just kind of how I've been my entire career. Don't get me wrong. Like, if something needs to be said, then I'll definitely say it. But again, for me, once I step foot on the field, it's just about over communicating, So again, once we break the huddle, I'm constantly talking to guys, whether that's me taking the ball or anything like that, it's constant communication, because, just making everything so much more clear for everyone else, So I would say I have a little bit of both and a good balance with that. But, I would say that, my preference is definitely to lead by example.
Thank you.
Gary.
Hey, Alan. Thank you for taking the time to do this today. You mentioned, remembering Stafford kind of when you were younger and him coming into the league. What were your kind of, if you recall, maybe some of your initial impressions of him back then, and are they consistent with the guy, you're meeting and practicing with now?
My initial, impression, as being a younger, player, whether that was high school or college, he was a person who, to be quite frankly, in my existence of watching Detroit Lions football, there was nobody who threw the ball even close to how he did in Detroit. I can't think of, like I said before, anybody who, came close to that. So watching him, from afar, growing up and as I got older, I've always had a great appreciation for him, and now seeing and being able to play with him, he's a super humble guy, even with everything that he's accomplished in the league, So again, like I said before, he's a stand-up dude, man. And whenever you're playing with guys like that, it really makes your job, a little bit easier, because like I said before, you're in constant communication, from quarterback to receiver, and everybody's constantly has the approach to take things and see things through the same set of eyes.
And then you said you've only been out here, a few weeks, but have you had a kind of a welcome to LA moment yet, in terms of, that comes to mind?
Nothing comes to mind yet. Again, I've just been, very, very focused on not only on the football aspect, but just the movement aspect as well. So I've been pretty hunkered down and focused. Again, my main focus is to come out here, be the best receiver that I can be, and play as well as I can. That's always the priority. And that's where I've been at right now. So I'm sure. It's Los Angeles, so I'm sure some exciting and fun experiences will come. But right now, I'm locked in, and I really want to make sure I'm taking advantage of this opportunity.
Thanks very much.
All right, then we'll wrap up with Rashawn and then Michael.
Hey, Alan, Rashawn Haylock, KTLA 5 Sports. You talked about just kind of being focused and hunkered down. Is there anything in particular you're interested in off the field to try to get to know or get to do, here in LA?
Nothing in particular. I've never been to. I think Disney is out here, isn't it? So I've never been to the one out here. So I mean, definitely to do some things like that. I'm a sports fan as well. And it's what six sports teams. Including us. Out here or something like that. So definitely going to some sporting events. I know the Angels have two of the best players. Right now in the MLB. So I think that'll be exciting to go check those guys out as well. Same with the Dodgers, they're good. So it's so much to do, and I feel like I got time to do that. So right now, like I said before, man, my main focus is just making sure I'm locked in on what my task is at hand right now. Some of those experiences will come down the line.
Is there something that you can? Not that you guys are different players, of course, but Odell is a guy that accomplished a lot before coming here. But then was able to come here and win a Super Bowl. Is there something you can take from that experience and his experience that for you to be able to come here and try to accomplish, larger things as well on a winning team?
Yeah, I mean, it's two different experiences, but at the same time, like I said before, man, from the outside looking in before I even got here, I've saw the way that Coach McVay has been able to help players unlock themselves and just play at the best of their ability and at a very high clip, so seeing that, and just kind of seeing that even prior to me getting here, like I said before, was one of the things that I definitely noticed, from guys that I had played with prior, from Dante Fowler to Leonard Floyd, to watching, other guys come here and really being able to have success, and again, that was something that I noticed, very, very quickly from the outside looking in. So, I mean, that's one of the experiences that I can take, like I said before, from being here for a month now and being around Coach McVay and my other teammates and things like that. It makes sense on why this culture is a winning culture.
Thank you.
How about you, Mike?
Hi, Alan. I'm going to piggyback off what Rashawn said a little bit. I know Odell can't probably play in a game or take the field until the second half of the season or November, something along that. But I want to know what your reaction is to the hoopla about everybody trying to bring him back. Have you spoken with him? Have you recruited him? And have you had a chance to kind of imagine what your receiving group would be like with you and him and Cooper and Van and everybody on the field together?
I haven't spoken to him about it. I mean, obviously, as a player, whenever you're bringing in other good players, that only makes your team better. But again, I mean, for me to be completely honest, man, it's like I've been locked in right now. Like I said before, from moving to getting out here to getting adjusted to everything and learning the plays and things like that. I haven't really had the time, to let my mind wander about any outside things at all. Like I said before, man, I'm focused on, trying to step into being the best player that I could be, and learn this offense to the best of my ability so I can be, utilized and things like that, however they see fit, So right now that's been my focus. But, again, like I said before, whenever you're adding good players to a team, it only makes your team better.